Hey there YouTube, I'm Yukitsu, this is the Yukitsu Times, welcome to my channel. Welcome back to Shogun 2 Total War. Just basically cleaning up this one. I mean, we've gotten just about to, oh wow, they backed off. I was gonna say, like, we've just about finished this and we're just sort of holding off. I was actually expecting that big fight there to be, like, the start of this episode. But they decided they don't want none of that, which is really weird because they probably could have taken out that city. That is actually an enemy, but they're marching northward, I guess, to thwart my guys that are also marching northward. But I left a pretty sizable garrison, so they're kind of pinched in. Maybe they're trying to retreat to their core territories. Alright, so we need to get blitzing northward because really, we're running out of places to attack. It's a little bit problematic almost. Yeah, well, it's not almost problematic, it is problematic. We're going to have to build up a big force around the south because I think that's where we're going to start our attack against our allies. Because we are going to have to attack our allies. Suruga, like, just untakeable. Because they're not letting us... Oh, crap. Well, that's not necessarily that bad. Okay, lots and lots of levy infantry is coming in. It's not really what we necessarily need right now, but suppressing fire is kind of good but kind of bad. Like, it ridiculously reduces your accuracy, but also... So, I think I really am just going for these buildings here. Either way... We've got forces moving to the north, and they've got forces coming up to try and attack my cities up that way. So I'm actually going to take this as an opportunity to build up the forces over here and get them moving again once they're healed up a bit. But in the meantime, why don't we go ahead and just attack these guys with naval bombardment. They can't really recover their units until they make it back into their own territory, so that's going to be a little while at the very least. We could also try and assassinate this geisha here. Can't believe they got rid of the cutscenes, because they had them. Like, they could have just repurposed the cutscenes from the regular Shogun 2. Let's bring this guy... Let's put him in this army. That will increase our movement speed just a little bit as we move up to Ugo. Which is a terrible name for a province. Alright. Don't know if that necessarily made them faster this turn, but it will make them faster overall. Alright. So the thing about this army is that it is fairly high quality. It's like Black Bear infantry and line infantry, and the Black Bears are actually really good, so that should help them out despite the fact that they're in low numbers there. We'll send our Ishin Shishi out there to help them as well to instill fervor. Let them charge. Oh, right, crap, I forgot about that. Well, we should reduce the taxes here anyway. Alright, recruit constantly. I was about to say that it's kind of bad that we did that, but then I realized that, you know, I'm not taxing a lot of the provinces that we're working on, just because it doesn't really matter if I tax them at this point in the game, because my income is ridiculously high anyway. Why would I don't really need to worry about it. So, let's start working on our provinces back here, though, like Sagami. It's probably a terrible pronunciation of that name. I probably should have actually bothered to pronounce it correctly, but I don't really worry about it, and frankly I've got a canker sore anyway, so it's making it a little bit harder to talk than it normally would be. Not much, but a little bit. Let's get this guy into here. He'll rally up the populace, that's fine, and we can go ahead and recruit some units here too. We're just getting units that can help hold the city for in case we get counterattacked here, because I'm going to declare war on my allies. Not sure how it's going to work out for me, but, you know, whatever. Okay, so... I don't know if my ally for sure incited a revolt there. Looks like he did. Or, sorry, repelled the revolt. Looks like he didn't, so... Got a little bit more time dealing with that. Uzan over here. Normally I'd be perfectly willing to just sort of throw this to the wilds here, but right now what's happened is there's an army marching towards Uzan, so I need to have a bit of an army built up here to block whatever it is that's showing up in case they try to attack it on the way. No, we don't need a master dojo. What do we want here? There's fertile soil, so we'll go ahead and upgrade the farms. Yeah, hopefully this army won't cause too much trouble on its way up northward, but in all likelihood it's going to. Alright, so this tiny force here hopefully doesn't get ambushed on the way, but it looks like we're okay. Alright. And we've still got a little bit to spend here, so let's go ahead and... Why don't we focus on the high-quality units that we can get at Satsuma here. And we could almost get Carbine Cavalry. We're missing the tech for that. Can we get revolver caveat? Yes, we can. We're going to get a couple of units of these, by which I mean we'll cap it out, but, you know, we probably won't be using them just about anytime soon. Alright, we've got about 65 or so turns, I think, left. So we're going to have to pick up the pace a little bit here. Let's even also work on our army. We're even going to buff up our army in Suo over here. Oh, we got another ninja upgrade. I don't need any of these, so we'll go ahead and get covert agent, which is just general success improvement. And over here, though, okay, I don't remember where my production nations were here, but we have got the rail line very well set up here, so it's a little bit less of a concern. Was it here? Yeah, nope. Oh yeah, there's a production center here, I think. Yeah, traditional units, though. A little bit unfortunate. Do we have a modern unit near a train station? Do we have modern units being trained here? Yeah, it looks like we do. Okay, so we can get let's get a mix of sharpshooters and line infantry here. And we'll start building that up in Harima. I'll have to remember it's Harima. And we'll start rallying them down there. I think we can also get our artillery around here. Was it iron? No, it's copper. Do we have a copper mine city here? Don't see an artillery field. Field artillery school, there we go. Okay, well, we'll just get parrot guns. And that should be good enough. We'll actually even build up here because we're going to have to. Did I forget to move that army? I think no, I didn't. Okay. We got lots of forces moving northward, but... Oh no, that wasn't the army that was moving north anyway, but... Gotta get those troops up there fast. I love how Goto Islands have been holding out this long. Just nothing can take them down. Okay, I think I've got enough forces ranged there to hold out against that army that's just sitting there. But we'll see. This game, like, cheats way too much for Goto Island to actually... Like, if it wasn't cheating, it would be so screwed. Because they wouldn't have enough money to maintain that gigantic army that they have. Same with that island that just crushed one of my allies that was invading them. Okay, Awaji Sumoto are backing down. They're an ally, so I don't really care. Does mean that they won't be around to sort of get in my way. Looks like the rebels are still around Takayama. And they just left, so maybe that'll get popped. And if it does, I don't know if I'm actually close enough to swoop in and take it. Looks like we've got some allies coming around by Setsu. I think that they're kind of getting pissed off at me and my subversiveness. Alright, let's go ahead and do that. Get some more levy infantry. Actually, we can get line here. Why don't we? I mean... We are going to need more units moving forward, so I might as well do that. But let's see what we can do up here as well. If we can get here. Alright. I mean, our force is so tiny. Okay, they've got vastly, vastly inferior types of troops, but I have nothing that can help me really break through that force in terms of a siege attack, so we're going to have to let them be in their fortifications. That's fine, though. What can we do up here around Ugo? What a terrible name for a city. Anyway, let's move these guys up. This is an even smaller force, but we actually have got artillery with this one, so we can get along just fine. Well, I think these are all allied. Yep. Okay, let's move this up so we can try and intercept that fleet that's up there. Hugh Benneker. I like how our captain for our ship is an Englishman. Alright, let's plunder that just a little bit while we head up there. There's no reason not to, but over here, I mean, we can't... We can reintroduce taxes here at least. But our drive north is being hampered a little bit by a lack of troops, so... I'm going to start moving this... Oh my... Looks like my mouse cursor has turned into some sort of wonky thing here. That happens from time to time to me. I don't know what causes it. Alright. Let's just hope that goes back to normal. It sometimes does. But... oh yeah, there it goes. Okay, well, let's keep recruiting units here. Let's keep recruiting units down around here. It's not quite bingo, it's actually a little bit further, isn't it? Yeah, all the way over in, was it Bizen? No, it was even further. Harima. Jeez. These aren't even our top tier troops that we can be getting out here. Let's go ahead and recruit some units over here, just so that we've got a garrison in case these guys are planning a backstab. Looks like they've got pretty primitive, bad forces for an attack, other than they've got a little bit of line infantry and a little bit of katana kachi, but not too scared of that. Yeah, so hopefully what's going to happen here is they do go for a sally, and I can hopefully beat them using these black bears, especially if I can get a few volleys in that decisive charge. If I'm using Neil Fire, I can really hammer them, so that might work. They won't surrender, I think, because they're the Shogunate Vanguard, but we're going to start even just moving up one unit. It's going to be a little bit touch and go as to whether or not we can actually hold our public order in this region, but that's fine. They're going to be going down naturally just a little bit from the change in public opinion, so that's going to be a bit of an issue, but other than that, I don't really need a better port here, I don't think. Yeah, we should be okay. What else can we do? I don't really need much more navy. I guess we could upgrade the cottage industry here. This is being upgraded. Actually, let's go ahead and upgrade this to a castle. I can start getting some more castles to get rid of this. I can add more repression in these forward areas, and honestly, having them fortified for the inevitable counterattack when my allies... I can't say my allies turn on me because I'm turning on my allies, so, you know, that wouldn't be a meaningful thing to say. But when I've got that going on, I need to be ready. Alright, and let's go down to around here. It wasn't Owari that I was worried about, it was Setsu. Oh, I've already got units being built there. Okay, so Tanba is also going to need units, and just everything sort of in my north frontier here needs to be able to hold out against an attack from this north area, so... Alright, let's go ahead and hit the next button. We've got a bigger garrison over in Echigo, that's fine. Doesn't really matter tremendously, but I can start moving them north now if I have to. Or if I get an opportunity to, rather. Oh, they've moved an army to intercept my forces there. Alright, well, it could be a good idea for me to try and kill them. Oh, they're sieging those guys out. I can push them out and force them into a land or a naval battle with my allies, which might be a good idea. Or I think I can. Actually, that might not be what you can do in this one. That might be a different Total War. Alright, well, I should check our victory conditions, because, I mean, I'm trying to figure out how many of my allies do I actually have to stab in the spine here. Okay, I think I might be able to get Suruga to defect, so we're going to make sure we check that. We're actually dramatically and quickly dropping in income here, but... Oh, good. Okay, so... You can see that the strength opposing whatever force bar has really swung around in my favor here. By which I mean it's now even, as opposed to they've got huge advantages. Alright. We got actually a decent position to do this from as well, especially because they don't really have any artillery as far as I remember. I mean, I could try and run forward and get the even more fortifiable hill on the center, but that's really not worth it. I wouldn't get there in time. So what I'm going to do is corner camp, probably. Pretty much what we're... Like, if you're using Neil Fire, the flanking effect is a lot more serious because your units are immobile, so you can't sort of fire and adjust. Which I really like doing, but the Neil Fire bonus is just too much to ignore. Of course, the problem with Neil firing in this situation is that my units actually have ridiculous charge bonuses. Like, I think we had a plus 28 charge bonus. I could actually beat a Katana unit out on a charge. It's just that they would then proceed to kick my ass in the resulting melee combat. Okay. So we're going to set our units up kind of in a column along the side, and we're going to stretch them out pretty wide. Actually, let's just get the whole thing. Our weak unit's anchoring our right flank, but it's kind of not really a big deal. Okay. So what we're going to do is just stretch out like this, and we want to go as wide as our guns will allow us to, which I guess is all the way out to here. And then once we get to there, we'll kneel fire. And this basically just means that my opponent is going to be walking into a sheer wall of firepower that they just will not be able to break through with the units that they have. That's the hope anyway. You never know. I am pretty badly outnumbered. You can see the general over there. It's probably in the center of their forces, so that's okay. Alright. Well, yeah, some of them are popping in. Yeah, you can see them on the general advance now. And we've got the thin blue line of Satsuma over here. I need to actually bring my line just a little bit further that way. Alright. Fortunately, we got plenty of time for these sort of maneuvers. It's kind of weird the way they move these units when you're on long formations and you're moving in this sort of way, but that's fine. We got lots of time. Now what we might have to do is remove our kneel fire on our left flank here because they are awaiting their attack on this side. And then we can sort of use the fact that we're anchored on this side to try and roll them across their battle line. That's what we're probably going to want to do here. In a case like this, where they've got melee troops, it is, regardless of the case of like corner or not, the fact that I would want to be positioned on the crest of this hill, because they've got lots of melee units and I haven't. So that's sort of why we're doing this regardless. It's also really good that it's on a corner, just so they can't just outflank the hill. But what we would do if they were trying to outflank is to simply start turning our units to face until we were sort of circled around the crest of the hill. All around the circle of the hill, anywhere they're attacking. Because it's easier for us to move our units around this hill than it would be for them to sort of go all the way circumnavigating the hill while potentially some of our units have them down below firing at with us firing at them. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with the fact that we're probably going to be in this position. So I'm going to go ahead and hit kneel fire. As you can see, they don't actually do anything just yet, but that's fine. Now the problem that we're going to have is that we have no one to replace losses, so our dudes with the funny black bear hats are not going to have anyone to step forward after like even a single casualty. Our firing rate's going to go down a little bit. Whereas with them, like, they lose 1 million of their levy infantry and they'll have more levy infantry to fill those gaps. So, you know, these volleys have to cripple them not only in terms of morale, but they actually have to be killing a lot before we reduce their firepower at all. Alright, let's go ahead and hit the forward button. If they had any artillery whatsoever, I would just not be able to win this fight because I would have to advance, but that's how you should think of this game. Like, if your opponent has artillery, if you have longer range than your opponent, and the other, you know, if I have long range units and you don't, then you have to advance into my units. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep picking at you with my skirmishing units. It's the way it is. Let's see here. It looks like it's about 50-50. It looks like they will overlap my right flank a little bit, so that's probably where we're going to end up being a bit weaker. We might want to look for charge opportunities, though, because like Black Bears will beat Spear Levy like really badly. The Spear Levy don't even stand a chance in melee if I get a good charge, especially downhill charges. So what's going to happen is this unit is going to get ganged up a little bit too badly, so it's probably going to get worn down by this gigantic mob of enemy units that are sort of marching towards me. It's a shame I don't have any like American or British line infantry here because they actually have extended range. So we'd be getting off first volleys. Alright, we have to be careful now because we might be thinking about charging. Although, looks like they're spreading their line out. If they had been 3 deep, I would have actually charged, but at this state, it might be better for me to just take the shots. They're almost at my lines. Oh boy. Alright. Okay, so they've gotten, like, practically lost a unit already. They actually practically lost several units. Alright, so that unit's pretty much dispersed. All their guns, I think, are on their right flank, so that's a concern, but nothing too bad. This unit's getting hammered pretty badly. Wonder why we're not firing. There we go. Alright, so that'll see that unit off, no problem there. Okay, let's get these guys off of Neilfire, and let's get them starting to roll up the flank here a little bit. I'm not going to be able to charge here just because we're pinned down by gunfire and we have to keep that fire up, but let's put all these guys into guard mode so they'll keep firing properly. Alright, let's move these guys up, just have them ready to fire. So these spears have been dispersed. Being charged on the flank here, that's really bad. Wasn't quite turned enough, but it's a General's Hatamoto. They're not the best unit. Okay, we're probably not going to get these shots off that we want, so let's go ahead and charge. Oh, they fled. Alright, let's use Neilfire on these guys. And this gun line really tore them up. We're just about in position on this flank, so it should be good. I think their general's Hatamoto's a little bit, general's bodyguard actually, but not quite up to task here. These guys being tired is not going to help their case at all here. Yeah, they've broken. We lost quite a lot of troops here. Half of all of our units pretty much, but I think we've definitely done a good job here. And that's the difference that quality can make, especially in a good position. This isn't really quite like Shogun 2, the base game, where the basic unit is really viable throughout the entire thing. There's a certain period where Levy Infantry, no matter how much you have, is just really outclassed. I mean, you'd have to outnumber someone like 4-1 before Levy Infantry could beat a full Imperial army, or a full Shogunate Guard army, or whatever, because those units are just ridiculously good. Yeah, I mean, we lost 544 men to 3,000 men, and this is where they have got combat advantages. Alright. If Fukushima goes down, that would be fantastic, but... Alright, our shinobi over here, let's see what he can get. Not really too concerned about this particular level. Yeah, nothing too good. Alright. It'd be kind of nice if they actually got the bonuses for that, but... So what I can do here potentially is assassinate their general, and that could be really good here. It would mean that this rebel faction would be much more likely to win, but it looks like actually a fairly high-level rebel faction army, so that's a little bit odd, but it does mean that they're likely to win. Okay, we could probably just win this. So let's go ahead and auto-resolve that. I'm going to damage the buildings and have to pay for it, but we got the money to do it. It will be unhappy for a little while, but... Oh, actually, no, we can peacefully occupy and it will be at stability, so that's actually really good. Alright. Let's repair that. Let's go ahead and turn this into a police station. And upgrade this railway station, because we do want to keep upgrading those rail stations. Okay, that's probably all we're going to be able to do for now here. Let's get these guys up to the Iwate, but... I mean... Apparently... What's over here? What's going on here? Alright, well, let's see if we can get our navy up to reinforcing range, or just outright. We can just get it outright there. Okay. And I think there might be an army that's set up to ambush me over here, and I cannot afford to get ambushed with this army, because it is not strong enough to deal with that. Oh, no, they're up here. Okay, I guess we're going to go ahead and continue scouting this army. Like, I was confused a bit by the fact that they had that, because their army should not be able to evade mine in terms of, like, I've got a ninja there, so I should be really good at scouting those out, but alright, either way. Where was it that Saruga over here. Set a revolt, 80% chance, revolt incited, and hopefully this province will get taken so I can take it. Although I think that they have upgraded the railway lines here, so oops, but still, this is the best way for me to try and get these provinces opened up to me. Okay, the first bits of my revolver cav are finished. They're all the way down here, so they won't really be available till we turn coat and show our true colors as the evil whatever we are that we are. I don't know what we are. Maybe we should fortify up here too. Let's just get basic units. I can afford to just get oh right, I can get actually one of these guys over here, Royal Marines, and they're actually supremely good, so I don't see why I wouldn't. Alright, so we got a basic in there. Okay, check our victory conditions. 34 out of 38. I mean, that's difficult. We're almost done, but we've got such little left that we have to do, but we have to get it done. Okay, well, either way. That's done next turn, so we'll check that again at the start of next turn. Try and figure out what we want to do for tech. Oh yeah, I need to get those guys up faster so that they can potentially capitalize on a rebel victory. I don't suspect the rebels are going to win because they've got big combat penalties. Ooh, okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and fight this on the battlefield. Our fleet over here includes the Ironclad Warrior and multiple torpedo ships. And I don't really care about friendly fire. So that should be good. Our opponent's stuck in a little bit of a harbor, so that's where torpedo ships are a little bit better even. Whales are interesting. Like, I don't... There's some sort of thing in, like, the intestine of sperm whales that people used to drink, and it's supposed to be extremely, extremely expensive. And I'm just curious. It's like, it apparently doesn't taste good, but it's like the most expensive ingredient in the world. And it was like a long time ago too when they were whaling a lot. It's so weird. I don't know why people drank it. Then again, I don't know why people drink kombucha, so... I don't know why people drink a lot of things, actually. You know, like those hardcore survivalists that drink urine. I just don't know why they would necessarily do that. Because you can desalinate that and just turn it into water. I mean, why don't they do that? Water sounds like a better proposition to me. Alright. Here we go. Ready to rock and roll? Okay, those are the enemies. Look at the size of this ship. Okay, let's go ahead and load exploding shells. Alright, and we'll load explosives on this one as well. But more importantly, let's get our ships broadsides facing. And let's also go ahead and start firing torpedoes, like the mad rampaging lunatics that we are. I don't think these are necessarily going to get anything, but fire them anyway. Alright, slow down. Let's actually stop our torpedo boats here. I don't actually know where my opponent's ships are even turning their facing, but this is probably actually going to cause that ship to just surrender right now. Like, you don't go toe-to-toe with the warrior and expect good things. Alright, so we caused an explosion in one of their ships, which is great. I love that. I love causing explosions. It's just so sexy. Yeah, they've surrendered the Kaiten. We're gonna just flee with our torpedo boats here. Don't want them slugging it out here. And we'll go ahead. I don't know why we even need allies in the fight like this. We switched to solid shot just for the extra range. This one's routing already. Love this. Command at sea is just a beautiful thing to have. I think we ran over like some random stragglers in the water with our torpedoes. I don't feel bad about it. It's how you know someone's a bad person. It's when they literally run a person over with a torpedo and they don't feel bad about it. I mean, the fact that they even had the opportunity to do that just means that they're probably a bad person. Looks like the explosive shells are a bit more common now, though. Alright, let's go ahead and launch torpedoes here. Probably not going to hit that one. I'm not even really paying attention to my other ships. I just want torpedo hits. Oh, they've surrendered. Keep drifting forward, you sons of bitches. No, they've come to a full stop. Alright, that's surrendered. What's left? Alright, well. Rule Britannia. I guess that's the first time I've ever actually used this. I usually get the Laotian. Don't remember... Oh, right, it's because their infantry is better. The French infantry is a little bit better than the British infantry. The Americans have, like, the cheapest of all of them, and their, like, their ironclad is the Roanoke, which is an interesting one because it's turreted, but it doesn't have very many guns, so it's much cheaper. It's really, really durable. It's hard to knock out the guns, but at the same time, it doesn't really have the same punch. Alright. Well, that's that. Alright, so those guys are coming up strong and fast. Hopefully they won't burn down all my stuff. Alright, I think I got through that naval battle without losing any guns or people, so it's pretty good. Pretty happy about that. Alright. A lot of burning coastline there. I think I'm repairing most of those, though. I like how the Yowaji are just moving back and forth in that same sort of predictable pattern over and over and over again without getting anything done. Okay, we got a problem near Echigo, it looks like. Well, thankfully you've got a lot of troops there. Yeah, they cleared out that rebellion, no problem. Alright, Suruga has their rebellion, and they've restocked their troops, though, so they'll easily be able to fix that problem there. Oh, there's a shinobi there. It's an enemy one. Okay, let's move this guy out here so we can actually do this. He assassinated. Good. Good. So Iwate, let's go ahead and continue or start recruiting, I guess. This is probably the first wave of troops. But we could also go get a Rishi Mahjong Parlor. I mean, I can start probably taxing a couple more of my places as well that were off taxes. This will help solve that problem of our economy sort of collapsing on us, but, well, it's not really collapsing on us, but it is really rapidly dropping. Okay, we're going to have to just pound Ugo into the ground so that we can take it before those reinforcing units come up behind me. Now, we have got the means to actually do this attack, because we have got a lot of cannons and a lot of artillery, so we're going to have to rely on offshore. What we're going to do, though, is I just need to check the level of this fort. It's a stronghold. I think that's the second level, so that shouldn't be too bad. The reinforcing army is pretty far, I think. I think it was going to head up towards Uzen, so it's probably near Uzen right now. Actually, no, it's right there. Okay, well, if I disable it, I bet my ally will kill it. So that might be a good idea. Let's try sabotaging the army. We don't have a great chance of it, but, you know. the risks are relatively low. Memory sabotage failed. Yeah, he did escape with his life though, so it's a little bit of experience for him. You know, it was a good experience. You know, that's what they always tell people under these situations. You almost died, but it was a good experience. It was a good life lesson. It builds character. Alright, we need to move over towards this way with one of our armies, but we'll start moving this other army towards the northern front there. Low chance of this, but we can give it a shot. Oh no. Death. No, that was cheesy as all get out. Okay, let's... Yeah, these guys are turning into fat slobs, but that's fine. Okay. Recruit, Ishin Shishi. You're our replacement for that. I mean, what's going on down here? This rebel army still exists. That's fine. I don't anticipate this rebel army winning, so... You know... Do what you can. Alright, so this is going to be one of those fights that's kind of me picking on them like an absolute jackass, but let's give it a go. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? We have only got 4 units though, so we have to make sure that like we've really cleared out the walls of their guns. And it looks like, yeah, this is a tier probably 1 actually. I don't think we actually really have enough troops to garrison the place properly either. If we could take Goto Island, I wonder if we'd have enough troops to, is that enough places? You know, if we take out Goto Island and we take out that other island, we might actually not need to betray our allies. Why don't we try that? Sounds like the more sensible route. We've already been building up our forces, I guess, near our capital. We'll just keep doing that and really ramp up our efforts as far as that goes. Build up those troops, combine them together, and send them over there. I think that might be the best route. Alright, let's go ahead and start our deployment here. Not a great line with our cannons on this side. Not a great line for our cannons on any side, really. Okay, yeah, I think somewhere... Wow, this is not great for cannon angles. Okay, we're going to go ahead and artillery lob our cannon shells from, like, back here. And the reason that I'm doing it this way is because if we were a bit further back, we can get a bit more arc. So it works for me if we're at the more extreme edge of cannon range, covering the whole base. And this way we can sort of lob the shells into their fort without necessarily having to worry about the fact that we've got a pretty poor line towards their stuff. Okay, that'll work. That'll do. Alright, let's get our infantry lined up over here, just in case they rush out or something crazy. And, yeah. Perfectly happy to aim at Will for a second here. They've got a unit of Yariki outside their walls. Okay, we're going to aim at this section of fort wall here. And the reason being that we can kill a lot of troops just in that explosion of the wall. And that's what we really need to get rid of. Like the archery tower we want to get rid of, but it's not super important to get rid of it. Alright, that killed a lot of them actually. Okay, we got that. Let's go ahead and aim at this nope. Archery tower. Just take it out. Actually, let's have you aim it over this part of the wall. Huh. All misses. Well shot, fellows. Okay. We're gonna run out of ammo, I think, before we actually deal enough damage to these guys or something. I don't know that we're getting the hits we need. Oh, got some of them, I think. Yep. How do you guys miss a wall, honestly? I don't know. These guys are not the best shots. At least the overshots are hitting these guys from time to time, but it's not great. Look at the size of this wall. How are you guys missing this? This is embarrassing. You're embarrassing us all. You're an embarrassment to Japan. I mean, at least this is a fairly small target. Alright, so that's working. Alright, let's aim at these guys. Maybe that'll actually hit something. Alright, let's aim at this section of wall too. Actually, if we aim at this bit of wall, one more hit to it will pretty much knock it out. I don't know, did the cannons get nerfed since I last played this or something? Jeez. Alright, let's aim this about here. We'll hold our fire with our cannons for just a second here, so that we can figure out where we're going to need more shots in a second. But we got 2 more barrages, so... How long is it before the fire? 9 seconds till impact. So I think it should be coming in any second now. Yeah, here they're moving. Alright. This unit seems pretty gutsy. That was a pretty bad bombardment, but they weren't super bunched up or anything. Alright, let's get back to firing. That wall's dead. Alright, let's have all you guys aim at these riflemen here. Shred them down to nothing. Okay, good hits, good hits. Not bad. Okay, that's pretty good. Not a lot of people at that section of wall, though, so... I like the manual aim in Total War Arena, and I hope that they keep adding that to Total War games, honestly. Like, it is a pretty good feature. Given where they're aiming in this unit, shrapnel shot is not going to work really any better. Okay, we're gonna see if we can hit this area here. Now there's a target ground option, but I can't remember how to do it, and I can't remember how to make it effective. Alright, let's aim at these guys a little bit here. Improves the accuracy, okay. Alright, Yari key down quite a bit. I think we could actually start trying to fight this unit that's on the ground there. But let's switch our aim over to these guys for just a second while we bombard, I think around here actually. If we drop a bombardment there, I think we're going to be in a good spot. Alright. Let's get our Imperial Infantry. Let's get them lined up over here. See if we can start picking at these spearmen that for some reason walked out of the building. Just like walked out, dropped the mic. Put down the hammer. I don't know. Anyway. There's only actually 38 guys in that squad. I don't know why I'm shooting at them. Yeah, because they're practically gone now. So I'm not really even shooting at anybody there. Okay, this is getting better hits. Trying to shoot these guys in the back here. We're hitting them less than when we were aiming this thing, and we're hitting the archery tower more than we were aiming at it. Alright, same with these ones. Switch fire whenever we feel like it would be advantageous. Okay. Just short. Now the problem is we don't have expanded range, so it does actually make sense for me to just start getting into a proper gunfight with the guys on the walls. Because you don't really want to go up there. It would be not good for us to actually go up there. I can't get a proper line of sight to these guys, I don't think. And we're almost out of cannon ammo. We have got one more bombard, though. Okay, we're aiming, I think, at the wrong unit here to a certain degree. Or we're hitting this unit more because we're aiming at this one, because that's how aiming works in this game. It is, actually, but, you know. Okay, let's micro this unit by itself just a little bit here. Because I don't really want to walk into range of all of his units here. Like, the problem is we don't have the right angle. They're covered by the hill. Just a tiny bit of that hill. So we can't actually shoot at that spear unit there. That's the ambush that they've got waiting for me. We'll start scouring the walls, I guess, a little bit. Alright, we're just about out of ammo, I suspect. Yeah, we're pretty much out of ammo. Alright, we need to hit kill zone. Okay, and our last naval support as well. Let's throw that down. I mean, they've spread out their troops in a way that makes it hard for me to land this properly, so we're probably just going to use this here again. Okay, a little bit further. And what's going to happen is potentially he might counterattack by charging me with those spears as soon as I get into gun range. So I should be able to shoot at this levy infantry pretty soon, theoretically. Like, where is the... Yeah, they're in that range circle. Okay, that one got a lot. Okay, that barrage got a lot of them. So that's good. One other thing that I forgot to do is, like, I forgot to knock open a gate, but I'm not really going to be able to melee assault here anyway. Yeah, here we go. Melee charge. Rapid advancing. Alright, so let's get these guys back. Oh, crap. Why AI? Alright, so if you've got multiple units of guns, you can actually just sort of keep kiting backwards like this, where he'll have to stop and attack one unit or the other. He's still on rapid advance, I think. Oops. Did forget about that little detail. If your units are running, they actually do have to reload. Like, they can't just magically have bullets again. You know, we could just charge them. They're sandwiched, so that would work. You know what? Let's do it. Yeah, they've routed. Okay, so that gets off a fairly scary unit from the field. What have they got left up here? Some levy infantry there, levy infantry there. Alright, that's enough of that, you guys. Let's get back to the fight. Okay, now the problem is that we are on a timer, and we used up, like, a quarter of our time already, which is not actually that much, but, you know, still don't want to do it. Alright, let's move up our troops and just start firing away at the walls. I mean, it's ineffective in a certain sense, but it's still better than nothing. It's still better than walking in there. Especially against levy infantry, I mean... We could get overwhelmed by numbers in melee a little bit easier than we could just firing at them. Even closer, it looks like. Alright, we want to get close enough that we can really use our kneel fire. Yeah, there we go. Still not for these guys. Okay, can we fire here? Yep. Alright, so they've gone over to fight to the death. Okay, I don't think we're shooting back here. Let's take them off that. Let's just do a fire order. Alright, so this unit here pretty much gone. Am I actually going to fire at these guys ever? There we go. Yeah, screw it. I'm just going to start climbing with this unit since they're running up the wall so urgently. And we'll move this guy up to fight off those ones potentially. Don't know why these guys have stopped moving, but it's a little bit disconcerting. There we go. Now they're climbing. Okay, so that's all of these guys that I could actually fire at gone. The increased marksmanship for this unit, like, really helps when firing at units that are on a wall, but they still have a huge advantage firing down those points, so I'm going to keep giving my guys covering fire, basically. Until they make it up there. Okay. Okay, we're at that point where we're probably going to just start causing friendly fire, so let's move up here. Now, Imperial Infantry actually are not that bad at shooting or at melee against cavalry, so I'm not too afraid of this fight, and they're definitely capable of beating something like these Yari Levy Garrison. Problem is that we're already at pretty low morale because of the climb really took it out of my units. That's the thing about climbing these tall walls, it's a bad idea. We are blazing away with our guns from the walls though, now that we've captured them. Alright. So these units are all already wavering, but that doesn't matter here because they'll fight to the death. That unit's down to just a few men. But even a few men can cause pretty big casualties if you're trying to climb, so we'll wait just a little bit there. Same thing sort of goes over here, like, I don't think I'm at a right angle here though, so we'll have to charge that wall. This one I think we're still okay on angle. Alright, so we've wiped out 2 of their units already. This one is pretty much done for. Let's move these guys up this way. Let's move this one sort of this way. Use this as a sort of... Where are these guys? They're not on the wall anymore. Interesting. Okay, well, either way, let's line up and just start executing these guys. It's just like a shooting range. They're still looking the other way. They just don't want to even acknowledge the fact that this is happening. It's like, nope, we're fine. The artillery barrage stopped, nothing's happening. We're all going to live through this battle. Even Jerry there, who has like 5 bullets in him. I like that kind of whistling sound the bolts make when they head through the window slats, but... yeah, this unit's been cut in half, in the sort of sense that like there's a split down the middle where there's just no troops. They need to reform that unit pretty badly. Alright. Our units are pretty tired now, though. Which is kind of bad. Well, they started firing. A little bit. Look at that hail of gunfire. Like, there's not a huge unit firing at them here. This is down to 84 men, so That's not the most that could be shooting here. But man, is it ever effective. Okay, we don't want to get around on both sides of that, so we're going to go ahead and capture this instead. It's just 15 of these guys left, wow. Just slowly marching solemnly forward. Alright, let's get you guys around to over here. This is just the shortest range gunfight. I can actually see people missing at this kind of range, because you're literally firing at a guy that is so close to you that you're probably panicking, like, a lot. Like, I wouldn't be able to fire at this range without just blowing it completely, just being, oh god, what's going on? One of my guys just got shot in the face. Well, last man standing. Let's see if he can reload and fire and kill one more guy before he goes down. No. No. It was a heroic effort. What are they firing at now? I don't even know what they're shooting at. Alright. Well, that was bloody. But it got us the fortress. Which is all I was really asking for there. Alright, I think we're going to call that an episode there. I'm just going to see what we've got going on in this province here. Probably have to cut taxes, but we'll see. I'm not sure what they've got rocking here, so I might have a lucky time if they've got lots of things that reduce the public disorder, so. Alright, we did lose 271, which is practically nothing compared to their losses. Yeah, minus 9. Okay, that's kind of ridiculous. I can't actually get them back to happiness in this turn, so I'm not going to even bother reducing the taxes. What's going to happen is that we'll get back the castle stronghold, and that'll add 4 to the repression, so we'll be able to deal with that a little bit better next turn. But until then, it's going to have to probably be riding by the seat of its pants. Next turn we should be able to get into happiness, though. And even if not, I'm not too worried about necessarily about a rebellion there. Okay, let's get these guys up here. See what's happening. Potentially bombard some stuff. We even got the Kotetsu coming up here as support. I mean, it's not as good, obviously, as the Roanoke or the HMS Warrior or anything like that, but it's a good ship. I like it. It's a respectable ship. Okay. And we also needed to check our clan development, so... Yeah, I didn't really want to get surveillance necessarily, but I have been using the Ishin Shishi a lot more than I thought I was going to be. So there might be some merit, really, in using that. I can get municipalities now, but carbine cavalry, I don't really like. If I'm going to get gun cavalry, I prefer the revolver cavalry. I actually think they're stronger. I use them as general assassins, basically. But, plus morale is pretty good. I don't need accuracy at all, really. Militarized society gives her really good bonuses, but that leads to fascist Japan, and that didn't work out well for anybody, least of all the Japanese, so, you know, I think I actually will go ahead and get surveillance. I think that's probably okay. Anyway, that's going to be our episode for today. I hope you found it enjoyable, and of course, as always, I hope to see you all next time. Let's go check this real quick. We've still got 3 provinces to take. So if we can really quickly take out Aomori, and then we can take out Sato, and if we can really quickly sort of take out, where was it? Goto Island down here, who have been at war for forever, or maybe even... Oh no, they're allied. Okay, so if we take out Goto Island, then we don't have to betray our allies if we can get all 3 of those. So that's the dream. Like, that would be the ideal situation. So hopefully that's what happens. So anyway, yeah, I hope you found this episode enjoyable, and of course, as always, I hope to see you all next time.